Hello, Armchair Bikers TV. You're probably asking the question, why is Buzzer out here sitting in front of some old shed in front of a 74 XL 100? This is going to be a tough one for me. And just go into the story of this bike, and this video just sort of came in my head with the help of my friend out in California, John. Just to give you the cast of characters, I got a buddy out in California named John, longtime buddy. In fact, we rode together when we both got small little mini bikes back in the day, lived in the back of my development. And my mother, Carolyn, I call her Carolyn, always did, and my father, Bob. And if you're new to the channel, I do this channel with my son, call him the Bearded Stick. He's got everybody's got multiple nicknames. So anyway, 2025 came in, and got a random call, from my buddy in California, and he started bringing up my father, Bob, and I started thinking about it, and it's like it's 30 years since I lost my father. 30 years ago, I lost my father in March of '95, and he was a amazing man. Just really did a lot for the whole family, and he kept us warm, kept a roof over our heads, gave us a lot of wisdom. He was a very fair man, and so this for some reason this has hit me a little bit hard, and just that whole conversation that John and I started talking about, and he'd only retired a couple of years before he passed away, and John said that really it hit him hard for many years, about how he worked his whole life and only got a couple of years of retirement. So strange thing was, the day he died, I was randomly during the week with my daughter, who was young. I happened to go to my father's house, my mother's house, which I don't even know why, because it was, they're half hour, 40 minutes away, whatever, and I never really never would go down there during the week. It would be weekends, and I would call Carolyn, and on the week, the week or weekends, and line up, because my father would never pick the phone up, so Carolyn would always pick the phone up. We call her the dispatcher, because she'd always make plans with everybody. So I don't even know why I was down there on that day, and just walked in. Bob was downstairs, talked to my mother, talked to Carolyn, and yelled down to him. He came upstairs, and I said, "What are you doing?" He said he's watching the OJ trial, and just laughing, not laughing, but just thought it was just unbelievable, and because I think Cato was up testifying or something. So so he's down there, talked to him a little bit, and he, just kidded around and had, just talking and laughing, and so he's like, "Well, I'm gonna go back downstairs." I went downstairs, and I just continued to talk to Carolyn, and next thing I hear is this thump, and just a strange weight. He had weights down there, the old York barbell weights, plates, just a strange clank of plates, and then just a weird gasping noise. And I screamed down, I was like, "Bob, you okay?" And went downstairs, and he was just on the floor, and then he did come to, and I got him. We got him up into a chair, and he just said he didn't know why he passed out, and he thought he felt fine, obviously. And this time my mother had called 911, so the EMTs show up, and we helped him up the stairs. He didn't even want to get any help. He's you want to go on a stretcher and all that stuff, and he was just that kind of guy where it's like, I don't need any help, and so he got him in the ambulance, and I was standing in the back of the ambulance, and I just wish I had said something to him besides, I don't even know what I said to him, but I just stared at him, and I said, "We'll see you at the hospital," and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I feel fine." And then the EMT goes, "You have no blood pressure." Hey guys, I can't even get a blood pressure on you, and I didn't even understand that. So last time I saw him, he went to the hospital, and I guess his aorta artery had burst, and he just they operated and couldn't save him. At that point, it was probably he'd lost too much blood, and he was gone, you know. So it just really is, you know, it's hit me through the years, but for some reason this 30-year, knowing that he has been around for 30 years, and this conversation I had with my friend John, really just really hit home for some reason. So I started to talk, you know, past couple of days, I've just, you know, been after that conversation, haven't really slept well, and had some conversations with my son, Bearded Stick, and just tell him about Bob. Again, just wish Bob had been around to hang out with my kids, and maybe, you know, he was into motorcycling and small gun collector, and did target shooting, and then he got into, you know, when I was younger, he got into reloading all his ammunition, and just amazingly books and just everything written down of different grains. And I'm not really a reloader. I never got into it with him, and he probably always wished I had, but I didn't. And so he was into the reloading of his guns. Every gun that he had, he was able to reload. So he had all the reloading equipment, his guns. He just loved to sit downstairs and do that. And so it was he was always taught us respect for firearms, and he always had, you know, which is amazing. Probably wouldn't happen today, but he had everything in the house to reload any gun he had, gunpowder and everything. So thank God our house never caught on fire, because it would have been a 4th of July fireworks show. And told us to never touch anything, you know, that was his stuff. We respected him, and you know, don't touch my weapons, don't touch anything in the house, and he taught us that. And we respected any firearm that was ever in the house, any of his reloading stuff. You know, he just, like, you know, he just wanted us to be safe. And, you know, he had a bunch of rules in the house. We didn't understand it when we were little kids, why there were so many rules, but, you know, he always told us. He would say, hey, you know, you're not going to understand your old man, but when, you know, he goes, I'm going to be dead and gone, but someday you're going to say, geez, that made a lot of sense, Bob. After talking with John, and John had just told some really, he's got a really good memory. He told me some great stories about Bob, and wish he had, you know, had picked my father's brain about, you know, reloading and all that stuff. You know, because he got into some small firearms, and he's living out in California. I think I brought that up. And so he's got a few. He just goes target practice, and as my father did, it was just a big target practice. I went shooting with him, and, you know, did a few hunts with him, but never. I was, you know, he told me I wasn't going to be a hunter, because we'd go pheasant hunting, and every time a bird would take off, I'd crap myself and wouldn't know what to do. So Bob would be like, you know what, I don't think you're a hunter. And I'm like, nah, I don't think I am too. And he really was just more of a target shooter, go to the range and shoot targets, and you know, bring home his paper and stuff like that, and just reload his gun. So, and like I said, that's all he really did. I don't ever remember him ever like, you know, going out and getting a deer, or us eating venison or any of that stuff. You know, he's just more into collecting the guns and reloading them and going to target practice them. So my father got into motorcycling at a late age, probably 40 something, got into motorcycling, and he got me into motorcycling. So I mean, I thank God that I don't know what I would do without motorcycling. 2 wheels, motorcycles have been my life. Passed it on to my children. Both my kids ride, and I hang out with my kids every day, because I tell them, you know, life's short, and I want to spend as much time with you. So he got me into motorcycling, and thank God he did. Some of my fondest memories are riding with Bob, and to tell you that this is Bob's first bike. This is he bought his 74 XL100 from a dealership down in Schenectady, New York, JAF Motors, and this is it. And like I said, what a great childhood we had. Always supported us, and so it was just a really really sad day. Lost him way too early, and only a couple years after he retired. So he worked his ass off, and never, you know, only lived a couple years after his retirement. So, but to this day, I wish, if we had the chance to go back in time, I'd love to go take another ride with Bob. And maybe he'd be on his XL. The XL has a story of its own. Father bought it brand new. He wrote it, and he basically rode it for many years, learned how to ride on it, and man, he loved this bike. He kept it inside. People laugh about keeping their bikes inside. Bob kept his bike inside. So summertime, it was in the garage. Wintertime, it came in the downstairs family room. And he called it Bikey-Boo. That's where Bikey-Boo sat. So, and I do remember one story. He was on a business trip, called up, and he had left in a hurry. And I think he just put his bike away for the winter. And called on the phone again. Called on the phone. The phone rings. It's back in the day where you only had a phone attached to the wall, a rotary phone in the kitchen, so everybody, didn't really have any personal phone calls in the house because you only had one phone. And so somebody yelled something like, "You gotta go check the gas on Bikey-Boo," and it's like he was calling from the airport because he was on a business trip and making sure that he turned the gas off. And guess what? When I put this bike away, I didn't turn the gas off. So Bob would not be proud of me. So he was calling to see if the gas was off on his bike, putting it downstairs. So again, Bob's first bike, he rides it, and I get an XR. My first probably real shift clutch gear type. Before that was like a small mini bike. So I got my XR. He's got his XL. And we ride together, hit all those things, and then he gets a bigger bike, and he gives this one to me. So I start riding this, and my buddy John gets an XL 125. But probably he had something else in between there. Maybe he had like a Suzuki. I don't know. He'd remember everything, but I don't know exactly how everything progressed. So yep. So we're riding around. I got the XL 100. I'm younger than John. John's older than me, so I'm riding the XL 100 here, and he's riding his XL 125, and we're just ride all over the place, and through the development all summer long, back of the development, Luther's Woods, the power lines, lap road trails, as we used to call it. So just a phenomenal upbringing, and thank God Bob bought me that my first motorcycle and got me going on this because I haven't stopped, and I won't until I can't ride anymore. So to go back to this, so I sell this bike. Back to the story of the 74 XL 100. And I do, please, thanks for bearing with me on this. This is a tough video to do, I hope you enjoy it. Stay through to the end. I'll try to keep it short and stay to the end and put your comments down and tell me some stories. The Beard and Stick and I read all the comments, and we try to give you a thumbs up or at least comment to everybody. Greatly appreciative of everybody on the channel, and so leave your comments and stay to the end, please. And thanks for bearing with me on this. Again, this has been a little tough for me, and I don't understand, but just the conversation I had with my buddy John and the 30-year thing, you start to get to like, wow, it's been that long, and you try to want to remember, and start making sure you don't lose memories of your father, because 30 years is a long time. So back to the bike here. So I sell it to a friend of my father's and also a friend of us. I sell it to him, and he rides it, and then he sells it to somebody else I don't even know. So I figured the bike is gone, I never really looked back to it. Well, long and behold, I come across at the gas station up by our house. I come across this guy, and he knows, oh, Rick, and he's telling the story, and he goes, oh yeah, I got that old XL 100, that I bought off Rick. And I said, geez, that's my father's old bike, And I go, what are you doing? He goes, oh no, I'm just gonna, give me I think he told me to give him $100 for it or something like that. I could take it back, and it wasn't running that well or something. It'd been pretty beat up, So I said, okay. So I get it back, and I get it running. It wasn't running that great, and it sits in the shed with the rest of my bikes, and a couple days. I'm working on something, so I put it outside of the shed, and And again, it was in much better shape than this. It had the original headlight at that point, had the original rear fender, and a black Preston Petty fender on the front of it. And so it was, it was in better shape than this. I park it around back, and now it did run at that point. So I park it around back of my shed, and I'm working on my bikes. And a couple days later, I go out, I walk out, and I was like, what the hell's the XL100? Somebody took it, somebody stole it. So I go, this is unbelievable. I left that thing out for, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days maybe? I don't know. I mean, it wasn't that long because I was working on another bike, and somebody just took it and rolled it off and stole it. So I think there goes Bob's bike. I frigged up, and it's gone. But so I lost the bike, and I'm just pissed at myself. I said, Jesus, Bob's old freaking 100. Well, anyway, I go to the police department. I put it's been stolen. Put the report in. Bring my title with me, and they put the VIN number down. And amazingly, 2 years later, I get a phone call from the police department, and they go, "Oh yeah, you're the owner of a '74 XL100? Yeah, we got it here down the station. We caught some kid riding around through the city. I think he was in Saratoga or whatever, riding around on it, And he goes, and I go, you got to be kidding me. He goes, yeah, you can come down anytime you want and pick it up. And he goes, just bring your title with you. And I said, okay. So come down to the police station, and there is Bikey-Boo. And this was the condition it was in. They put a different front fender on it. They put this headlight on there, put that rear fender on it, and put these handlebars on it. Yeah, so it's pretty much how I got it back from them stealing it. And I got it back. Didn't run really, and then I got it running, but it's smoking really bad. And the original engine was in it. It was smoking really bad. So I pulled the original engine out of it, and I had this one that's laying around. I threw it in there just to ride it around for, to teach people how to, operate a clutch and that stuff. And of course, in the move to here, I misplaced the original motor, the original engine. So this is not the original engine. And but everything else is original to it, besides the fenders, and those are the original shocks. Original forks, original wheels, obviously the tires are put knobbies on it, and but other than like I said, it wouldn't be in this bad a shape if it hadn't gotten stolen. They beat the heck out of it, and now I don't know what it is. I put it in here because I was so frustrated. I should have taken better care of it, but it went into the shed when I got here, and locked it, and nobody comes back here because it's pretty secluded back here. So. And long and behold, in 2025, I pull it out 20 years later, and it's amazingly, it's no different than when I put it back here. You figure mice and critters and everything else back here. I was thinking it was going to be worse, but I literally took the hammer. I don't know if you can see that in the shop, but I took the hammer and broke the lock, because this place has been locked for 20 years. I had no idea where the key is, so broke the lock and pulled it out. And anyway, while I'm doing this video, Bearded Stick comes in, and look at, dude, the '74 XL100 that you've never seen. This is a little surprise for you. The Bearded Stick has never seen his bike. He's 20-some years old. And
it's been hiding out here.
It's been hiding in his shed. He has never seen his bike. And this is Bob's original '74 XL100.
No shit.
Yep. And I
think it really doesn't look that bad.
I was just saying that it's for what it's been through. It's been multiple owners. It's been stolen.
Right?
It's been stolen. Yeah, I got the camera down low if you want to just, yeah. It's been stolen, multiple owners, and it's amazing I still have it. So somebody from up above was looking after us, because this means a lot to me. This old bike, and maybe we can get it running.
I think it looks fun. Yeah, it looks good.
So,
you try kicking it?
Yeah, it kicks over.
So
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, it kicks over. Yeah,
Wow.
It kicks over, and the gas tank it's got gas in it.
Really?
There's some form of gas it has in it. Yeah. Anyway, please. So I'm gonna end this video with thanks for watching. Hopefully you stayed to the end. You got the story behind the bike. You got the story behind Bob. God bless Bob. Rest in peace. And miss you, Bob. miss the whole family. Most of my family is passed away, and so I have my 2 children, my wife, and what we do is we ride motorcycles and make goofy videos, and that's kind of the reason that I make these videos, is just so when I'm no longer here, they have something to look back on, and these videos will hopefully stay on the internet for a long time. And but we do appreciate all the subscribers. You guys subscribe, and we'll keep doing some fun videos with us. I'll try to get my daughter involved. She's busy, but I'll try to get her in the springtime riding. She doesn't like to ride in the cold weather, so she'll ride, and we'll get her on the channel, get a couple rides in with her. And again, thanks for please subscribe. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Leave a comment on this, and please tell me your story about somebody who got you into motorcycling. My father got me into motorcycling. I never looked back, and I have never been without a motorcycle since. Get out and ride. Armchair Bikers TV. Be safe.